So as expected, the Indian team lost the test match, the second test match here in Guwahati by 408 runs and thereby losing the series 2-0 to South Africa. But the biggest talking point was Gautam Gambhir. After the match, he admitted that it was the team effort that has let him down, and he took the blame on himself as well, being the coach, and also he also made it a point that it is the team is going through transition process. And with me to talk more in details, I have none other than Shamik Chakrabarty. Shamik, your thoughts initially about Gautam Gambhir's comment after the match?
See, Debasis, first of all, welcome on Revsportz. Welcome to Revsportz, our viewers. And see, I was at the Gautam Gambhir's press conference, and it is subject to interpretation. It is subject to interpretation, and my interpretation from being present at the press conference is that Gautam Gambhir is under pressure. You expect a coach, the head coach, and he is an all-powerful head coach, to be under pressure after suffering second home series whitewash in about 12 months, right? India lost 3-0 against New Zealand, now 2-0 against South Africa, and this hurts even more. If you go back to the New Zealand series, India were in the game. They lost key moments. Here, they failed to turn up completely, especially in this test. So, from that point of view, Gautam Gambhir started with, I asked him the question, do you agree that the blame also lies at the feet of the coaching staff as well as the players because of their execution was poor on the field? He said, yes, the blame lies at the feet of everyone starting with me, number one. Then, but the biggest point of the way he sort of hit out at a lot of things without naming, between the lines, you have to read between the lines. He said, we have to prioritize test cricket. Fact of the matter is that we were in Australia 3 days before the start of this test series. We have to, and it has to be a collective effort, collectively. If we want test cricket in India to flourish, then we have to prioritize test cricket. Now here is a counter question. You, as the head coach, are you also prioritizing test cricket? Because in this game, test cricket is meant for specialists. And you are playing the likes of Nitish Kumar Reddy, Dhruv Jurel in test cricket. So, you are playing an all-rounder. I mean, you are playing the white ball players in test cricket. This is not the BCCI's fault. This is, you could have called anyone. I mean, Devdutt Padikkal was there as a specialist batsman in the team. If you wanted a right-hander, you could have called anyone from the outside. But that was not done. Now, Gautam Gambhir also said that this is transition. He said, if you look at the team against New Zealand and this, completely different youngsters, and they need time to develop. Everything is admitted, but this is a home series. So the way Gautam Gambhir spoke, my interpretation and my impression is that the head coach is under pressure.
Yeah, obviously, Samita, you made a point that it has to be read between the lines. What is said that you have to prioritize cricket. In a way, BCCI also has to be blamed because you were in Australia. Just you traveled 3 days. In 3 days' time, you are preparing for Test series. So that is not the coach. That is not a responsibility of the coach. The responsibility lies with the. And he himself also reiterated the fact that there needs to be a gap. Needs to be a gap between series.
Absolutely, that is fine, but I think every itinerary, as the head coach, he has enough elbow room, right? So he needs to talk to the BCCI. Like, why did he allow Shubman Gill to go to Australia and play that inconsequential ODI series and also the T20I series? Shubman Gill didn't need the T20 series on Australia. In the World T20, I mean the T20 World Cup would be played in India, absolutely. The conditions would be antipodian. So Shubman Gill had no business going to Australia and playing. Oh, unfortunately, he missed the series. But if he would have played, he came here undercooked, number one. Kuldeep Yadav.
Yes.
Kuldeep Yadav went, and after a while you thought, okay, we call him back, and then he played a game
against
South Africa, and then he could have played. He could have stayed here and played the Ranji Trophy. That would have been a better preparation for Test cricket. So it is not only the BCCI. the head coach also has some elbow room. So we have to take everything into account. But one thing I totally agree with Gautam Gambhir, he spoke about care. He didn't take any name, but when Rishabh Pant's shot in the first innings, that was mentioned, and after that, he said more than the accountability, it is about care. It cannot be like that. I go out there in the middle, and this is the way I play. I don't have a plan B. This is the way. This is not. You have to put the team ahead of yourself. You cannot put yourself ahead of the team. Strong words without taking any name. Strong words. I totally agree with that. I totally. Another thing, in that Gautam Gambhir press conference, he defended himself. He was asked about his coach, his future as a coach, and said, "It's up to the BCCI. Indian cricket is important. I am not." But at the same time, this is the man under whom India drew a test series in England with a young team. This is the man who won the Champions Trophy and the Asia Cup. All said and done, I think, the way, the mood, the entire mood of the press conference was a bit different. India have lost in the past also, but this press conference was a little different in the sense, I will not be surprised that if going ahead there is a review meeting, BCCI must have taken note of this series loss. Now you have, over the last 12 months, India have played 7 home tests and lost 5. So it is an atrocious, shambolic record. So everything that I expect a review meeting. I don't know whether something, but the fact of the matter is that after 2 days,
The one day series.
Rohit and Kohli, and that would be the priority. That would grab column inches. That would grab the headlines. And then there are the T20I series, T20I World Cup. Gautam Gambhir at the press conference spoke about not brushing things under the carpet. But the trend set is, once the white ball series starts, India's next test assignment is 8 months away
Against Sri Lanka.
So I hope things don't get brushed under the carpet. If that happens, such performances will continue to happen.
Shomila, let me ask you one thing. Both of us covered both these test matches, but going by the look of it, I was a bit baffled by the way of by the way the body language was with the players. Means clearly when on that second day wicket was not falling, means there was neither a plan B. The shoulders were dropping, they were laughing, they were just going through the motion. This is something which I really miss. Means we have covered cricket for quite some time to actually differentiate. Means do you think that few of the players, I won't say the collective unit, but few of the players, their lack of commitment or intent needs to be
See, it comes from within. You have to have you have to have your pride as a professional. That professional pride. A lot of players in this team, from my observation, a lot of players in this team have become happy flowers. They know after that we'll go to ODI series or T20I series.
Runs and
we'll score a 50 ball, 70 ball, 100, and everything would be forward. Yes. And Gautam Gambhir addressed this. He said, "Don't judge a player based on what he is doing in white ball cricket. If someone is scoring a 70 ball 100, he doesn't become a good red ball. Red ball cricket is totally different. So from that point of view, things need to be put in perspective. These players, a lot of them, apparently, have become happy flowers because they know, people will talk about this for a day or two, and then everything would be forgotten. If I go and hit a 100-meter 6, whatever they call maximums these days. So if I hit a 100-meter 6, that would be celebrated. That would start trending on social media. We are safe. Okay, 8 months later, when we play the test series, we'll see. So this is the mindset of a lot of players, and this is hurting India. It is not only about the coach. Whatever you see, I am not a big fan of Gautam Gambhir. Far from it. I don't think Gautam Gambhir is the right red ball coach. I even think he's a bit out of his depth as far as test cricket is concerned, coaching is concerned. But Gautam Gambhir does care. He does care for the Indian team, Indian cricket. And there is a lot of players mentally a lot of players are not in sync with the head coach in terms of the way the head coach looks at things and the way these players look at things. I mean, these players are like, okay, fine, as I told you, there is complacency. Ravindra Jadeja, I give you Ravindra Jadeja's example. He is a champion. You saw the way he batted, and during that innings, he never looked troubled on this pitch, on a day 5 pitch also. This is quality, this is professional pride. He has a reputation to carry. These young players should understand and should know that it takes a lot of hard work and effort to build reputation. It doesn't come overnight. And unless you are unless you are making your mark in test cricket, your career is unfulfilled, absolutely unfulfilled. Michael Bevan, for example, I'm going to Australia, Michael Bevan, he was a ODI legend, right? But do you take his name in the same breath like you take Ricky Ponting or Steve Waugh?
No.
Never.
Never.
Never, right? Michael Bevan. That is how it is. That is how it is. These young players should know, if they want to make a career, they will have to perform in test cricket. Do they have the hunger? Do they have the desire? I have my doubts.
And some harsh words, but also some realistic views by Shamik. That means obviously whether the Indian players does have the commitment to play test cricket, means that's the question that needs to be answered, and obviously the men who are at the helm of BCCI needs to address these issues. Obviously Gautam Gambhir was very honest in admitting that yes, if the BCCI wishes to think beyond me, it is up to the BCCI to take a call as far as my role in this test team is concerned. So that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed our coverage from Guwahati. This is me, Debasis, with me Shamik Chakrabarty. We are signing out from the ACS Stadium here in Guwahati. Keep watching Revsportz to get all the updates throughout the world of sports.
Sayonara.